Hey guys, so today I'm going to actually do a little story time that happened to me earlier today at at my uh at my local Walmart. So, cuz like I said, I mean, I may seem calm right now, but trust me, I'm really pissed. But anyway, long story short, I kind of use, I mean, I know we all do, but I have a tendency of using the app for just for anything to see that they have at Walmart, when it comes to something that's kind of, I don't know, something that I just want or just, I don't know, just was just browsing or whatever. So, Sunday when I was dropping my husband back, off to work, I was kind of like scrolling down. I typed in the GoPro 7 and because I was like, okay, because I'm thinking about getting a GoPro instead of using my phone for, for YouTube or just in general, take pictures of my kids, that kind of stuff. So basically, I was, I saw it online and I looked at the one that said at my store and it stated that they had the GoPro 7. I think it was the GoPro 7 Hero. I think it was in color, I think it was white. But anyway, it was GoPro 7 Hero color white and it was on clearance. It said clearance special buy for $99. So, I was like, hey, babe, look, they have it on sale. And I was like, I've never seen it that low. Even if it's the GoPro 7, I was like, it's a GoPro. I've never really owned anything like that. So I was like, okay. I was like, let me see what this is about. So, so I was like, okay, I was like, let me look. So I looked, I scrolled down and I was like, it says in stock. So I was like, thank God it's in stock finally. So, like I said, I was just looking and I was like, how am I gonna get it? Because I have two kids and again, my two kids don't wear masks. So I was like, you know what? Let me just check on, let me check today, which what is today? Oh my gosh. Today is, Thursday. So I was like, let me check and let me see. So, like I said, I went to the store and, I went to electronics and I was like, hey, I was like, I see that you guys had this on sale. I took out my phone, I showed them the picture, and I showed them, what it says. And the guy went for me, he looked, and he was like, oh, we don't have it, in the front. But he was like, let me check to see if they have it in the back. So he checked the back, and, he came back and he found it. So I was following him up, to the register. He scanned it, but the scanner thing wouldn't work. Now, I don't really remember what it said. I think it says something about, it, like not for sale because I guess something, like not for sale, but like, not for sale, like item, I don't know, because like the item wasn't scanning. He scanned it about like 5 times. So, I took it as, I was like, okay, I was like, is there any way you can, call the manager and see what they can do? And then he was like, well, he was like, it's definitely not on recall. So he was like, I don't know why it's not scanning, but he was just like, I can't sell it to you. And I was like, again, I'm like, can you call the manager? Because I was like, this is what I came for. I was like, I have two little kids, and it's going to be tough for me to come back out with my kids because, they're getting a little antsy and, I just want to, get my product and go. So, he was like, oh, he was like, okay. So he called the manager, and I guess the manager was just like, oh, I have to do some calls. I have to see basically what's going on. I need to just make sure that everything is okay. So I was like, okay. And I told him, I was like, here, I was like, take my name and my number down. And I was like, because my kids are basically, they can't they can't sit still for now. So here's my number, my name, my number. And I'm like, please call me once you get information because I was like, I'll come right back out. And, so when I went home, I know Walmart, they don't really call back. Nobody really calls back no store. But As soon as I went home, I called him and I was like, "Did you hear any news yet? Did you hear any news?" And he was like, "No." He was like, "I didn't hear anything." And he was like, "I will call you, once I hear the news." So, like I said, 2 hours went by, never called. So, again, I brought it upon myself to call. And I was just like, okay. I was like, this is basically, I mean, shouldn't be taking this long. I'm like, if they're supposedly doing, if the manager's supposed to be doing what he said he was doing. So, I was waiting, and again, mind you, all the other surrounding stores near me were all out of stock. My store was the only store that was in stock. And again, this store had only 10 left. So I don't care. Like, I was freaking out. I was like, I just want to make sure. I was like, did you get it? Did you get it? This and that. So like I said, if I want something, if I want something so bad, I will piss them off. But because like I said, that's what I specifically went to Walmart for. And he, like I said, he still was like, oh, nothing was said yet, so I'm still waiting. So I called again, and then it wasn't the same guy. It was actually a different guy. The guy in the back, it was still there, all the GoPros. And again, mind you, I was still on my phone, and I kept kind of like refreshing to make sure that, again, I wasn't hallucinating. And the item, the GoPro was still there online at my store, and it still said the price of $99. So I was like, okay. And then he, like I said, he went online and he said, yeah, he said, I see it says this and this, but he was like, there's really nothing right now that we can do because, X, Y, and Z, it's still the same as, still the same. So, so basically he ended up telling me to try to go online through walmart.com, do this, do that. And he was like, let them know that, you're looking for the GoPro 7. And he was like, something about when I go to the store, have them basically put that amount in. But the thing was that, like, he wouldn't really let me finish because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, I don't know how to do it. Yeah, it sounds funny. I'm 30 years old. And I really still don't really know how to use the internet. Whatever. Don't judge. But, so yeah, so I was trying to explain to him that I don't know what he's really, saying, because when I went online on my computer, it didn't show. So he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you'll deal with it. He was like, not deal with it, but he's like, yeah, you'll find it. He was like, let them do it and order it through that. Okay, bye. And he hung up on me, and I'm like, so I was like, you know what, freak this. I was like, freaking electronics is not really helping me. I'm getting sick and tired of getting the runaround from everybody. I was like, let me just try to go to the manager. And I recalled again, and they were, I was like, I need to speak to a manager. I was like, I don't want to speak to anybody else but the manager. And they were just like, the lady that was there on the phone, she was like, for what? And I was like, because I'm waiting on my GoPro 7. I was like, I want to know, the status of it. And I'm like, I'm getting the runaround from everybody, and I just want to go directly to the manager. And, she put me through to the manager, but again, long story short, again, nobody answered. So I freaking gave up. So, like I said, it's getting to the point where, like, I'm going to see, actually not going to see, I'm going up. I'm going to the corporate, because this is ridiculous. If you have something that states online that, that's what it says online, that, you have GoPro 7s, it's in stock, don't matter what, the amount, whatever, because I didn't know that, because it didn't say that when I first saw it. But the fact that they had it, and you're going to continue to give me the runaround about everything and act like I basically have 8 heads, and, basically I don't know what I'm talking about, because they kind of, like, once I, like I said, once I did go back on, and this was like probably, I want to say like maybe like 5:30ish, I went back on to see if I could, say, okay, this is what I'm going to talk to the manager about. Believe it or not, it was gone. Like, they literally took it off. The only thing that was there was the GoPro that's going on, I guess that's going for 119 for Black Friday. Or not Black Friday, for Black Friday, but for Saturday. And I was like, what the freak? So, like I said, I was not freaking BSing. But it's just the fact that common courtesy, like if you don't know what the freak you're talking about, don't give somebody the runaround, you know? And the fact of the matter was that, like, nobody wanted to really help me. They wanted to basically just make me sit there and look like a total dummy. And, you know, like I said, it's ridiculous that people do stuff like that. Like, I get it. Like, I get, you know, employees don't really want to be bothered in the first place, but especially when it comes to something like that, don't put somebody, like, don't leave somebody in the dark. Like, I don't know, it really grinds my gears. And I was just like, I was like, I don't know. And, you know, I was hoping to goodness that, you know, I don't know. Like, I know there's probably other people out there that, you know, had this happen to them or something similar or maybe something totally different. It's just like, what do you do about it? What do you guys go about doing if something like that happens? Would you do what I'm doing? Would you take that initiative? Would you go higher up? Or would you just kind of say, oh, you know, it's whatever? Me, I'm not the type. I'm sorry. I am going to continue to go higher up. I want to know why I was basically left in the dust like that. So, anywho, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Have a good night. And, you know, thank you for watching.